Hello Watch Collectors Guild family, this is James here, and as promised wanted to give you a review of the Aragon Hercules Swiss Soprod 43mm that I recently picked up. So first of all, hope you all are doing well. Hope you had a great holiday season and hope your collection's doing well. You know, maybe if you picked up anything interesting that you want to talk about, feel free to leave a comment about it. And as always, please subscribe if you like the content of this channel. It helps me out, but puts me on the right track that I want to get to. And if you like the video, feel free to like it, or like I said earlier, just leave a comment. Happy to talk watches anytime. So let's get into this watch. So as I mentioned, we have a Swiss Soprod movement within this watch. So for any of y'all that aren't familiar with Soprod, which I personally was not, I did a little bit of research. So I looked them up on calibercorner.com and looked up the Soprod M100, which is the watch movement within here, and the website told me it's based on the Soprod A10. So this is a Swiss movement, and it is Soprod is part of the Festina group. So I looked up Festina as well. Festina watches came up, and I hadn't heard of them, but you can check out their website and see Gerard Butler dancing around. So apparently he's one of their representatives. So yeah, you can check them out. Back to this movement. So within here, this is an automatic movement. And this Soprod M100 has a diameter of 25.6 millimeters with 3.6 millimeter thickness. It's a 25 jewel movement with 28,800 beats per hour. So it's an 8 beat per second movement with a power reserve of 42 hours. Now they said on Caliber Corner that it's considered a replacement or a substitute for the ETA, the ETA 2892 A2, though not an exact clone. It is comparable to it. And I went ahead and I wanted to compare this to the NH35 because Aragon uses the NH35 movement quite a bit. So and there's a big price difference between the two. So this watch you're looking at with the Soprod movement listed at $620. Now I did pick it up for $380 with the promotion that was offered when it first came out. So I don't know if they still have that promotion, but if you're waiting to get it, you might look out for that special pricing. But if you compare it to an NH35 Aragon watch, so those watches will be under 200. And as far as the NH35 itself, that's a Seiko Instruments movement, so Japanese 24 jewel movement with 21,600 beats per hour or 6 beats per second and a 41-hour power reserve. So there is some performance, definitely some performance differences in those numbers. Now personally, haven't had any issues with my with NH35 watch movements that I've had. It's a reliable movement. This one here, definitely reliable as well. So if having that Soprod movement is important to you, uh, definitely at $380, this is a good deal for that, I would say. Now, the other big design change for Aragon for this Hercules watch, which the Hercules has been around for a while, but this new iteration has this tungsten dial. So, tungsten bezel. If you're not familiar with tungsten, tungsten's an extremely dense element. It's almost as dense as gold, and you can find it pretty much scattered countries throughout the world, but most of it, the supply is controlled by China. It's extremely dense. It has a very high melting point, like actually the highest melting point and the highest tensile strength of any element. So that's pretty interesting. And then some interesting applications for it. So because of that high tensile strength and heat tolerance, it's used in drill bits. It's even used in bullets and in missiles. So I think bullets, it's for its armor piercing capabilities, and it's used in lighting and other chemical applications because of that high melting point, so that high heat resistance. So you can see here it's kind of it's produced like a mirrorized effect. So it's pretty good looking. Now the watch itself, other design elements. So the Hercules is despite the name, it's not as thick as some other Aragon watches. So my wrist is 6 3/4 inches. So at 43 millimeters, it's not too bad. So I don't think it's bad at all. I think it fits well. The bracelet has this new what Wing called fish scaling, so I like that. It gives it this kind of futuristic look to it. So it's with IP coating. It reminds me of titanium. It would be nice to have a titanium watch from Aragon. Still haven't seen that yet, at least in the past couple of years. So hopefully we see something like that. And let's take a look at a closer look for y'all. So this says a sapphire crystal, and it's exhibition case back, so you can see that Soprod movement, and you can see the rotor's been engraved with some Chinese characters. So I do not know what those mean. I'll have to look that up. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, the thickness for this, especially for an Aragon watch, isn't that bad. And I didn't weigh it. But honestly, the weight's not too bad. So all in all, I like this watch. I'd actually say this is like one of the best looking, the prettiest Aragon watches that I have in my collection, and of the ones I've seen as well. So this is the one that I bought right away when I saw it come out. some to critique it, some improvements. It would have been nice to have some illuminating factor on the second hand. So as you can see here, the second hand, there's no illuminating factor, so at night you won't be able to see the second hand move. And I think it's the choice of dials too right now. So like there is a new Hercules model that came out it's not the Soprod, but as far as the Soprod movements, the dial choices were kind of limited. And I do like Mother of Pearl, but it would have been nice to see something else. Like I don't know if tungsten could have been incorporated, or I'm always a fan of meteorite and or other metals as well. So like last time there was a Damascus steel. If they could do more with the Damascus, that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, I would give this is definitely a solid offering from Aragon. I think one of the best watches that they have available right now. Really, the only issues I said, the only true issue is just the illumination on the second hand. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. And as always, happy collecting. And if you like the content, subscribe, leave a comment. Happy to talk to you guys. Until next time.